Hi everyone, I hope you're all doing well. I have been noticing something. I have been noticing a lot of similarities across different luxury brands, especially when it comes to a very specific style of bag. So today I decided to share my thoughts and talk about vanity slash pouch bags. And guess what? I just happen to have not one but two vanity bags in my collection, so I can't wait to talk about them, share my thoughts and give you a little review, because this one I recently added to my collection. This one I've had for a while, so I wanted to compare them. They're two very popular styles from Saint Laurent and Chanel, but I also wanted to give you some alternatives as well. So if you're interested and want to know everything about vanity bags, pros and cons, and how I've been getting on with both of these bags, keep watching. So let's start with Saint Laurent, because this is the first vanity bag that I added to my collection. I already mentioned in a few videos how much I love this style and how much I wear it. This is the YSL Gabi Vanity, and the current retail price is 1,640. I have a feeling it has gone up in price since I bought it. I bought it beginning of the year. It's also a color that I feel is so sophisticated and so wearable at the same time. So I'm really glad I picked this color. However, I haven't reached for this bag during the summer months because of the color. It does feel quite autumn winter, so I'm excited now for the colder months so I can start wearing this bag a lot. I have really missed it because I really enjoyed wearing it beginning of the year with coats, and yeah, it's just a tiny bag that fits so much, and that's another reason I love vanity bags. I'm a fan. I have to admit, I am a fan of vanity bags. They're small, compact and lightweight. At the same time, they're very versatile and practical, and they fit quite a lot. Especially this Gabi Vanity, it is slightly wider and it does fit all my essentials. It has a crossbody strap, and I overall really love the look of it, the design. I love the diamond quilting and the YSL logo in this aged gold hardware. I think it really suits the bag, and it is quite classic style. Vanities have been around for such a long time. They have changed up a little bit now. They are a bit slimmer and more compact, and I have noticed that across the brands. Like a couple of years ago, it was all about makeup vanities, and I don't know if you guys remember these bags from Louis Vuitton, for example. These were so hot a couple of years ago. However, they were a lot bulkier and they really reminded me of their makeup bags, whereas this, it is still a vanity, but I don't know, the design, it's slightly slimmer, a bit more daintier, so in my eyes it doesn't look like a makeup bag as much. And actually, do you remember that many of us were converting those makeup vanities into a handbag by adding a chain or a top handle? So yeah, as we can see, vanities have been around for quite some time. They are not going anywhere. It's such a popular, desirable style, and they look really cute. So yeah. So the YSL Gabi Vanity, you already know how much I love. No regrets buying this vanity. I adore it. Also for the price point, this is probably the best price-wise. I would say this is probably the cheapest one across the brands. And also I actually find that the vanity bags aren't as expensive as other bags that we see from brands. So for example, this Chanel vanity bag is probably the cheapest, one of the cheapest bags you can currently get from Chanel. Well, this is really considered an SOG, but it is a bag. Come on, it is a bag. It is a mini bag, right? This is £2,500 compared to their other bags, even compared to their mini rectangles. This is such a good price. The mini rectangles retail for 4,200. This 2,500, right? So in my opinion, this is such a good price, especially for Chanel. And let's compare both of these quickly. So as you can see, they are both branded. We do have the logo on the front. This has a Chanel logo, the YSL logo. So very similar in size. I would say this one is slightly taller, the Chanel one is slightly taller and also longer. However, the Gabi Vanity from Saint Laurent is wider. It is not as slim, it is slightly bulkier. The Chanel Vanity is very slim, and it actually sits really well crossbody. It sits really flat against you, but so does the YSL Vanity. Although it's slightly bulkier, it doesn't look too bulky when you crossbody it. It doesn't look like those makeup vanities that were trending a couple of years ago. They were way too bulky when you crossbody, and that's the reason I never liked that trend. Both of these vanities also come with a strap. So they both actually have 2 zips, and inside I've tucked all my straps inside. The YSL Vanity comes with a leather strap. I love that these are removable, and this one is adjustable as well. So here it is, the Gabi Vanity with the leather adjustable strap. And then the Chanel one, again I've put the strap inside. This one has the classic Chanel chain strap that I love so much. It looks a bit more elegant in my opinion. Also, it has a clasp that you can very easily clip onto the bag. However, this one is not adjustable. And as we know, Chanel bags tend to have longer straps. So this one sits a bit lower. If you are on the petite side, you might find this a bit long. I would say the length is similar to the mini rectangles. So this in the winter with coats will be perfect, but if you are on the shorter side and you want to wear this in the summer, you might find it a bit long. For reference, I'm 100 centimeters tall, and I will insert some clips so you can see how this one sits on me. Also, I want to show you the Chanel Vanity inside. It is a fabric lined. I love this burgundy lining. We do have 2 card slots, so you don't have to carry a card holder or a wallet with you, especially since the space is a bit limited. Maybe you can put something else instead and save some space. And let me also show you the Gabi Vanity inside. It is leather lined, and again we have 1 pocket where you can slide some cards. This one does feel a bit more spacious, especially if you want to put a bulkier item. This one will fit maybe a little bit more, but pretty much I would say they fit about the same. Functionality wise, these are not the easiest to get in and out because of the double zip, because of the shape. As you can see, it takes some time to open and close it. But I find that to be the case with all vanities, even with my makeup bags from Louis Vuitton. Like the zippers on this one are a bit more annoying because they kind of twist. They're metal, so sometimes it is a bit more trickier to open and close. I would say the Gabi Vanity, I feel that the zips on the Chanel Vanity do feel a bit smoother, and also they don't twist and turn, they don't get tangled, you know, so you can just grab it and pull it, whereas this one sometimes you can't grab. See, this one sometimes it gets stuck, so I have to kind of adjust it, twist it, and then go. Something else I wanted to quickly mention is that these do not have feet, and also as you can see they're in different leathers. So we have smooth lambskin leather. This very durable considering it is lambskin. It's super soft. I do not see any wear or tear, and I have worn this bag a lot. Also the corners, as you can see around it, so you won't really notice that much wear. Whereas a Chanel, if you get this in lambskin leather, because I have seen this in lambskin, it is beautiful by the way, Because the corners are sharper, you would definitely notice a lot of wear on the corners especially. So bear that in mind. If you're getting the Chanel Vanity, I would recommend you get it in grained leather instead, because this one is so durable. So my final thoughts about these two and which one I would recommend before I give you some other alternatives from other brands. I don't know guys, I love both of them, honestly. If you want to save, what, £860, go for the Gabi Vanity. It is still a very classic looking bag. We have the YSL logo on the front. It is a beautiful bag, a bit more roomy. But then this one, a Chanel bag for £2,500, and it has all the classic features. We have the burgundy lining, we have the beautiful quilted leather, the classic mini CC logo on the front. Again, it does look very timeless and classic, and for that price, I would have to say, maybe if I had to choose between one of these, I'm kind of biased because you guys know Chanel is my favorite brand. I would go for the Chanel. Plus, I also find the zippers on this one a bit more annoying. These just feel a bit smoother and easier to open and close, you know? When I started this video, I mentioned that I've noticed a lot of similarities across so many different luxury brands when it comes to vanity bags. So I wanted to talk about other vanities, other alternatives, and also give you a little review and opinion about them, because I have seen many of them and tried them on in person. So the brand that really started this trend is Loro Piana. If you're looking for a more minimal, low-key vanity bag without any logo, I would go for the original. I would go for Loro Piana. They do have a really great variety of bags you can choose from. You have smooth leather, but also exotics, wicker. The wicker ones are definitely my favorite. Now they started making different sizes in the vanities. We can see some larger vanities, more elongated, like east-west almost style. And something that I have to mention when it comes to Loro Piana is the quality of their leather. It feels amazing. Loro Piana vanities are very simple, very minimalistic. We can barely see the LP logo on the zipper. However, they're still very recognizable. At the same time, they're also very duped bags. You can find really great dupes even on Amazon, and that's something that I'm not a fan of when it comes to Loro Piana vanities. But which brand isn't duped these days, really? But especially the Loro Piana vanities, I see so many fakes out there. Another really hot and popular choice currently is the Bottega Vanity, and I do really like the look of it. Again, it is super low-key. It is a if you know, you know brand, right? But you recognize it because of that Bottega weave. Also, the quality you get with Bottega Veneta bags is also top-notch. The leather they use is beautiful, and there's so much work going into that weave. So in my opinion, yes, they are pricey, but they're worth it because the quality you get. They have beautiful selection of colors as well. I find their colors so rich and so unique as well. They always have these super unique shades, so Bottega is definitely one to look at, especially if you're on the hunt for a vanity. Something that I must mention is that the Loro Piana Classic L19 vanity pouch does not come with a strap. The Bottega does come with a strap. I personally love to have the option to either have the strap on or remove it whenever I want, especially when it comes to these vanities. I do have a Savette symmetry pouch that I have to also mention because it's another really hot style currently when it comes to pouches. It is very understated and low-key again. However, that one does not have a strap, and sometimes it is really annoying to just carry it on the top handle. When you want to be hands-free, you don't really have any other option but to hug it under your armpit and carry it as a little clutch. And yeah, it's not the most convenient one. Another vanity pouch bag that I wanted to mention is this one from Louis Vuitton. It does really remind me of the YSL Gabi Vanity. I recently tried it on in the most beautiful exotic ostrich leather in this lilac color, and the hardware also had Swarovski crystals. It was so special. I absolutely loved it. But of course, Louis Vuitton also offers this bag in their classic monogram. This is the one that I probably like the least. I would go with just plain leather or exotic leather instead. I think they do look slightly better. The monogram is not my favorite on this style bag especially, and you do have the lock that kind of reminds me of the Loro Piana, because Loro Piana has a little lock. One of the charms is a lock on the zipper, so it does give me Loro Piana vibes a bit. But what's great about this one is that you can remove the lock, so you can have a few different looks. You can add the little tag that has the keys, so you can add that, you can remove it, you can remove the padlock and have a more cleaner look. I wanted to quickly show you Dior's variation of the vanity bag and also Prada. Different brands, as we can see, have reinterpreted the vanity style with their own signature details. We have the Prada triangle logo on this vanity, but if you remove the triangle logo, it looks like any of the other vanity bags, right? So they kind of all look the same. And last, to finish off this video, I have to mention the ultimate pochette bag, the Kelly Pochette. Now we know this one is extremely hard to get hold of. Another one of my personal favorites look-wise. It doesn't look as much as a vanity, and I know many people love the Kelly Pochette because of that reason. It doesn't really give off makeup vanity bag. However, bear in mind this one also does not come with a strap, so you only have the top handle. That's why my favorite from Hermes is the Mini Kelly, and because I couldn't get my hands on a Mini Kelly, I had to get these. I was really missing a mini top handle bag that transitions really well from day to night. I wanted something compact, versatile, light, that I can just grab and go crossbody or remove the strap and carry as an evening bag whenever I want. I think I also mentioned that in my updated wishlist video, which I'll link above. I did say to you guys, if I do not get a Mini Kelly offer by September, because that's when my wishlist expired, I said I would go for another vanity bag. And this is the other vanity that I really wanted to add to my collection. That was probably the most similar one to a Mini Kelly as well, in black. So there we go. I have my Chanel Kelly. Alright guys, I really hope you enjoyed today's video. I hope it was informative. If you are planning to get a vanity bag, are you drawn to vanity bags, and which one would you choose? Let me know in the comments. Let me know if you already have one and why you love it. Thank you so much for watching again, and I will see you very soon in my next video. Bye!